Hello and welcome back to a Mad Men Big Finish review, a video series where I review some of the latest series to come out of Big Finish. For this video, I'm going to be talking about Rani Takes on the World Beyond Bannerman Road, the spin-off sequel to the Sarah Jane Adventures. Now, it's comprised of 3 stories. As usual, I'm going to keep it as spoiler-free as possible with our first story, Here Today by Joseph Lidster. Years after her adventures with Sarah Jane Smith and friends, Rani Chandra is a successful journalist. She's brought down a government and her podcast is making waves. And she's about to be surprised by a visit from her best friend, Clyde Langer, who has an announcement of his own. But tonight, Clyde isn't the only visitor to Ealing. In the skies above, a flying saucer approaches, and only one person on Earth can stop it destroying London. Now, this is a fantastic start to this box set. Now, we're brought back with Rani, although I believe Rani was in the 8th of March, the second box set, I believe. I've yet to listen to that, and I think she was also in the Redacted as well. But she's in charge of her own series. She's the main focus of this new audio series. So we have Rani back, we have Clyde back, and even though they're a bit older than when last we saw them, it's like they never really left. It's really good to hear these characters again. But what I really liked about this is, like, reading the synopsis. The synopsis doesn't even really cover what actually happens in this story, and I can't really talk about it without spoiling it, because it is a kind of an integral plot point that goes on throughout this entire story. So I don't want to give it away, but everything about this story was fantastic. It kept me intrigued. The pacing was, it took its time to progress throughout this story. The pacing was, it wasn't slow where I just felt like it dragged on. It was at a moderate pace where it at least kept me hooked in. Like, I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's happening, how these characters are going to figure out how to resolve the situation. So it was a nice moderate pacing to the story. There was a certain part where I was wondering, what is going on here? We have a certain character in this story, and she just feels so out of place with what's going on with the main plot of Here Today. I was wondering, are we going to get something out of this? It's like, who is this person, and why is what she's saying, like, it doesn't feel like it's not connecting at all. But luckily, as we reach towards like the last act of that story, it all comes together. It's like, thank God, it makes sense now. But this is a really, like, great start to this box set. A great reintroduction to these characters, and there's some nice little nods to other media connected to Sarah Jane, particularly K9 and Company, and Big Finish's Sarah Jane Smith audio series. So I thought that was a nice little, like, kind of like references. But no, yeah, Here Today was absolutely brilliant. I really, really enjoyed it. And we come to our second story, Destination Wedding by James Goss. Rani and Geeta Chandri have been invited to a dream wedding on a luxury island resort. But how did Tiff from school end up marrying a film star? And why has she asked all the worst people from her life alongside the Hollywood A-listers? While Geeta samples the canaps, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, take a drink, I pronounced something wrong, and criticizes the flower arrangements, Rani senses something amiss. The perfect wedding comes at a price, but who will be paying? This was good. A nice, good middle story to this box set. I enjoyed a lot of it. Again, I was just really intrigued. The pacing was moderate. This is something that every story here follows, is that the pacing is moderate. Nothing is too slow. Nothing is too quick. It goes at a steady pace that keeps you enthralled and engaged with the story. Yeah, I really enjoyed this story. I really enjoyed this story. Sorry. There's not really much I can talk about it because I don't know. After Here Today, I don't think anything can top Here Today. Here Today was just fantastic, but Destination Wedding is a really good follow-up. I enjoyed it so much. And we come to our finale with The Witching Tree by Lizzie Hopley. Chasing a podcast reward, encouraged by a secret source, Rani investigates a haunted restaurant built around a twisted tree. The owners could be faking the spooky activity, but Rani soon realizes the tree is not what it seems. As a terrifying threat to planet Earth is revealed, Clyde and Phoenix are dragged into the fight. Rani is torn between revealing the truth or keeping a secret too terrifying to broadcast. I enjoyed this one. I would say it's somewhat weaker compared to the first two stories, but I still think it's a good story regardless. Again, it keeps the moderate pacing that the previous stories had. The twists in these stories were fantastic, and I'm surprised with the twist that they do with its connection to one of the main characters. I won't spoil it. I'm surprised they did it this early. I'd feel like this would be something that they would keep as like a recurring thing throughout the box set if there's going to be more box sets. That thank God there are. There's at least another one coming out after this one. But to do it this early, I'm surprised they kind of did it this early. But it paves way to certain character developments between some of our characters. Again, I can't really say anything without spoiling the box set and the stories. But yeah, I was really fascinated and surprised by the twist and how kind of early on it's revealed with this new series. But it is The Witching Tree is a good end to this box set. Overall, I'm really surprised by the quality of Rani Takes on the World. I'm not the biggest Sarah Jane Adventures fan. I do recall like kind of key episodes, like episodes with the Trickster, like some of the Bane episodes. I can't remember the title of the one where everyone just starts to hate Clyde, as if they know what his name is. Like they just automatically hate him. I remember that. I kind of remember that episode, but I was intrigued with how they're going to do a sequel to this series, though without Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane was such a huge pivotal part to the Sarah Jane Adventures. I mean, it's her own show, but luckily all of the cast members there, all the characters are fantastic characters. So having Rani take over, is essentially taken over. She's now a journalist. She's following in Sarah Jane's footsteps. I think is a great idea, and this box set shows that even without Sarah Jane, these characters have more than enough to fill that void, to keep the legacy going, to keep this series going, even with like a new name, with Rani Takes on the World. So this box set is absolutely fantastic. It's amazing, and something about it is that it's very unique compared to other Big Finish box sets. I've yet to figure out what it is. I can't properly put into words what is so unique about it, but it just feels like a very different series compared to like anything else. Like you have like with the first Doctor Adventures where they're capturing the classic era feel, and then you have stuff like 10th Doctor Adventures where it's just continuing like that new Who era like tone. But with Rani Takes on the World, it's its own complete separate kind of being. Again, I can't describe this feeling I have about it, but it just feels so unique, and that's what I like about it. They could have just played it safe, and it could just be like any other series that Big Finish does, where the huge majority of the time it's just good, but it's there. But this one, it's different, and it's a really good different, and that's what I appreciate about this. So everyone that worked on this, the cast members, producers, the writers, everyone on here have done a fantastic job, and they've guaranteed that I'm going to be continuing this series. I'm really interested in the next box set, The Revenge of Wormwood. We have the return of Luke Smith and Mrs. Wormwood as well. So those two, another two key characters from the Sarah Jane Adventures. So I'm very, very, very intrigued to listen to that box set when it comes out. But for this one, Beyond Bannerman Road, if I had to rate it, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Absolutely, if you are a Sarah Jane Adventures fan, you will definitely love this box set. It's sweet. It's a great continuation of that series with characters you know and love. So I would definitely recommend this box set. Definitely check out Rani Takes on the World Beyond Bannerman Road. And that is it for this review. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tune into our weekly live streams, and I will see you all in the next one. Ciao.